Hi, I'm Nan Simonson. I'm a health and wellness coach here in Riverside, California. That's about 60 miles due east of Los Angeles. I'm a health and wellness coach, and 3 years ago, just before I turned 70, I published Aging Powerfully. It was an Amazon bestseller. Accept your past, take control of your future. I had a lot of past that I had to accept, things that oh, challenged me for decades and decades. And I write briefly about that. And then the word powerfully becomes an acronym for 10 lifestyle modalities because I am enmeshed in the College of Lifestyle Medicine as a foundation. I'm with a lifestyle clinic as a foundational way of living our lives. So 10 lifestyle modalities that have been shown to make a difference for leading to vibrant health, balance, and joy. Well, today I am, well, I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but you may not have seen the last recording. Today we're talking about limiting beliefs. We're talking about self-esteem, esteem, and then limiting beliefs as it relates to that. And I am now in a 6-month course, a coaching intensive practicum to mash together a lot of the learning that I did over a year, well, actually a year and a half, at the Institute of Integrative Nutrition to become a health coach. Well, this is to then take the national boards, the board of, or the National Board for Health and Wellness Coaching. And I just wanted that training. Well, we're in the module right now that relates to self-esteem and relates to um, uh, well, the reality as it relates to coaching and limitation that we can run into either as a client or when we're working with a client when their behavior and what they think is their maybe inability to change that behavior may be influenced by and may be directed by some subconscious belief that may no longer be the truth, something that perhaps was part of their reality when they were a kid. As a matter of fact, most of our belief system begins at about 70, and then we begin believing certain things about the world. And so some of these things go back from the time we were a kid, sometimes um, much later. I'll use an example of my own, and you'll see that it was something that was much later. So let's talk about this. I'm going to be reading from you or to you from a sheet that you will be able to get a link for as a worksheet. And this is part of what I put together from our class studies currently. The beliefs we hold um, quite often guide our emotions and our actions. Our most powerful, influential beliefs are often those that were formed in childhood and get reinforced over time. Gaining insight into our beliefs can shed light on why we do the things we do. Finish the statements formed after the starter words that I'm about to give you, and then write a stream of consciousness for each, jotting down whatever comes to you. Don't stop until you feel that you're complete. Well, you can do this when you have this guideline, and I'll be putting this on my YouTube channel, YouTube Nan Simonson, under PowerPoints, the playlist of PowerPoints, and you can print this and you can do maybe your own homework in this area if you feel so directed. But I'm going to give you the possibilities and just pick one for now if you want to kind of glob onto something and you think, oh yeah, that's the thing that I'm having a hard time with. And those starter words are, and from that begins a stream of consciousness. But we won't have time for you to do that part of the exercise, but you can still think of the one thing that maybe hits you. Family is, life is, and then you will on your own be doing a stream of consciousness for each of these if you want. We did in the class. My job is, my money is, relationships are, intimacy is, love is, my health is, my body is, food is, I am. Just a quickie. Family is, life is, my job is, money is, relationships are, intimacy is, love is, my health is, my body is, food is, I am. Review your answers and reflect on the powerful beliefs that you hold. For each belief, ask yourself, how much do I believe that statement to be true? So what you did is, I'll give you an example. If it were me at this time, and I've talked about this because it's really coming up a lot right now. I am identifying with something I don't want to identify with anymore. And it's not even a hidden, it's not even a self-esteem related or subconscious belief. It's something that was actually detailed in a diagnosis. I am dyslexic. I am ADHD. I am left-handed, which I thought was no big deal. And one day somebody said, well, of course you're that way. You're left-handed. And then I looked up left-handedness, and it's true. It's like 1 to 3% of the population is left-handed. Most things aren't designed for left-handed, plus your brain works differently. So there was this triad. And for some reason, and maybe it was because I was trying some things that were challenging, or maybe it is true that I don't learn the way other people do, but I began identifying, and this has been relatively recent, or maybe it's been a long time. I began identifying with that as if that described what I should expect of myself. Okay, and so to that, and so again, you think of your own. Food is, body is, health, love, intimacy, money, job, life, family, food. To whatever that hang up is, or that evaluation is, how much do I believe this statement to be true? Is it actually true? Oh, I can't do anything because my brain's messed up. Is it actually true? No. I've done a lot of things in my life. Where did this belief come from? Well, the diagnosis and then evidence, because I knew there was something wrong before I ever got the diagnosis, things I couldn't do. How do I feel about this? Well, in spite of that, I found another way around all those things. Like the blind can hear better. I couldn't think one way, but I could certainly find ways to do other things. So how do you feel about this? And then how do I want to feel about this? That's the biggie. How do I want to? I want to feel empowered. I want to feel creative. I want to feel like a winner. I want to feel like a survivor. I want to feel like somebody that in spite of anything can go forward. So there's your example. All right. Beliefs versus facts. Let's look at some limiting beliefs. It can be liberating and eye-opening to approach situations of struggle by separating out the facts, what actually happened, from what you think happened. Oftentimes, we get this mixed up and treat our beliefs as if they are facts. But when we start to see things for what they are, the opportunities for a shift in perspective occurs, and we can challenge our beliefs. Think of a conflict you're currently, and this is something you may want to participate in. Think of a conflict you're currently struggling with or dealt with in the past. Maybe you got into an argument with a loved one, a colleague let you down, or somebody rubbed you the wrong way. Split a piece of paper into half vertically, like that. Preferably straight, boom. All right, on the left side, on the first column, in other words, from the left to the right, you're going to label it what you think happened. In other words, beliefs, what you think happened. And then on the right side, you're going to label it at the top, what actually happened, the facts. If it's 100% provable, it's a fact. If you've added your own spin on a scenario based or on assumption, then it's a belief. For example, my husband told me he was upset with me. Belief. I know my husband's upset at me because he hates it when I leave dishes in the sink. Could have had nothing to do with that. My sister is moving to California. Fact. Belief, my sister doesn't want to have a close relationship with me. She could have gotten the job of a lifetime. Fact, my boss added another big project to my workload when I'm already swamped. Belief, my boss is inconsiderate and doesn't value me as an employee. My boss could be swamped and not really paying much attention and just trying to get the job done. Again, if it's 100% provable, if it's a fact. If you're adding your own spin to the scenario, it's an assumption, it's a belief. In the 2 columns that you've created, jot down 3 or 4 examples from your own life. And then the rest of this, releasing limiting beliefs, is one way that you can use I'm going to say sort of the visual image of a person with a handful of balloons that they are willing to and excited about letting go. Because if you understand where a limiting belief is coming from, now it doesn't instantly free you up, but if you can understand it and you can rethink it and you can reframe it and then you can reimagine it, your brain, because a lot of this has to do with neuroplasticity, your brain can start replacing, crowding out the old belief system with a new reality. And those challenges that you worked through by, again, behaviors that maybe no longer serve you at all can simply disappear. And in some cases, almost painlessly, as if they didn't have a hold on you ever. And yet, they did. So releasing your limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs can keep us stuck in negative, unproductive beliefs and behaviors. The good news is that we can release and replace them by identifying and working through them. Use the following questions. And again, this is going to be hard for you to do right now, but if you can if you're following me with something and thinking, yeah, then just keep it going. Otherwise, you will get this sheet that I will put a link on my YouTube recording of this. Okay. Use the following questions as a process for releasing and replacing limiting beliefs. What is the limiting belief that you would like to release today? Where did this belief come from? Write down any memories or clues you have as to when your belief was formed. And it could have been childhood. You could have been the 4th kid trying to get validation, attention, being taken seriously. And from that belief that you're never quite good enough because nothing you did was acknowledged, you can spend a good part of your life believing I'm just never good enough and not even knowing where that is coming from. But when you understand where it's coming from, it can release you. So I'll repeat that sentence. Where did this belief come from? Write down any memories or clues you have as to when your belief was formed. 3, does your belief have a rightful place in your life today? That was 3. 4, evaluate the benefits of letting go of that belief. What good things could happen if you were to choose to give up this or these limiting beliefs? 5, replace your limiting belief with a power statement. Create a new statement that you can rehearse to lessen the power over you of the limiting belief that you are replacing. And that power statement can also be linked to a video in your mind of what that looks like when you are moving forward without the inhibitions created, or the fear created, or the negative feelings created by those limiting beliefs. This will shift your mindset to a place of strength and success. And then number 6, write down your new power statement and post it wherever and whenever you need to be reminded. I'll use again an example because as I said, I think I've been talking about this thing that I'm really bothered by, and I know what it is. I'm now in school learning again, and I don't do well in school. I get sick to my stomach even thinking of elementary school, junior high, high school, college, because it was all so hard, because it was just hard to remember, hard to do the work and all of that. And here I am in school again in this 3-month, really intensive course, harder than I thought it would be. And maybe it wouldn't be as hard for somebody else, but it is for me. And all kinds of insecurities are coming up, all kinds of negative self-talk, all kinds of limiting beliefs. Well, one of the things, and I'm tired of it. And one of the things I've been telling myself for a long time is, and I'm doing some other things that have to do with social media, the release of a project, and you'll hear about that soon enough. That took a lot of my out of the box kind of effort. And all of this had me, again, very insecure because I'm gonna say it, I'm not good with technical stuff. Well, because I'm really tired of that limiting belief, I've taken some things on. Back in November, or I think it was November, first part of December, I bought an Echo, an Alexa Echo Show thing, and these little, they're called dots that go around the house so you can talk to Alexa. I saw Chef AG in her kitchen say, Alexa, tell me to turn off the oven, or set a timer for the oven in 10 minutes, set a timer for the toaster oven in 5. I thought, oh, I want that. That looks really good. And so I bought the whole thing, spent several $100s, almost 300, and didn't touch it because I can't do that. I don't know how. I'm too afraid to. Well, truth be known, got somebody, my daughter, my husband's daughter, uh, she volunteered to come over and at least put it together for me. And that was all it took. Since then, though, I'm doing a lot of things on my own with that. Because I said to myself, just snap out of it, try these things, learn them. And that's what I'm trying to do. So that's a bit of an example, but it's a major part of my self-esteem. It's a major part of a limiting belief that I have, that because certain things don't flow for me in a certain way, I can't do other things. And you know what I'm learning? I'm learning I can do all kinds of things. And I get really tense and very uptight while I'm working on them. I just set up a calendar program for myself called Calendly. That had me so shaken up. I wanted someone to do it for me, but how does somebody set up your personal calendar in that kind of a format? Had to do it. So all of this fits hand in glove. This is my example. What is yours? I'd love to hear if you want to share it with me as a comment on this video. I'm going to be going back now to a group of ladies, they're ladies today, because this is my PowerPoints group every Tuesday at 1:30 Pacific time. They come on Zoom and we have a conversation about anything, but the launch of it is usually about the subject that I've chosen for that week, and this is going to be the subject. So if you'd like to hear more about that, you can write me at Aging Powerfully with Nan. Again, Aging Powerfully with Nan at gmail.com, and just say that you want to join the group. And so we're going to go back and we're going to have a conversation about this, and we'll see if anyone has a story that relates to it all. In the meantime, you can talk to me on comment You can connect with me on Aging Powerfully with Nan, Gmail. And I hope you have a great day. I hope this was helpful. Thumbs up and all of that makes a difference. Subscribe makes a difference. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day. Again, because I know I'm going to. Bye bye.